A warm welcome, and of course, thank you so much for joining us on Business Today. I'm Rana Habwe, together with Pedson Mumbere and Samla Hanifa for the Business Today show. We bring you the business insights and everything you need to know in the world of business. Of course, this very Friday, the 10th of November, and of course, to kick it off with what is trending and looking at the silkworm project that is on its knees, the Parliamentary Committee on the Presidential Affairs has conveyed its dissatisfaction with the Ministry of Science and Technology as well as Innovation for allegedly undermining the silkworm project initiated in the country in the financial year of 2017 and 2018. The committee expressed its disappointment during a visit to the project in Mukono district, where they discovered that it is in a critical condition, attributing it to a dire situation. Minister Musenero's decision is set to hold the financial support in regards to this very project. Let's have the story, and then we come back and we give it more insight.
We appropriated money in 2000 financial year 2022-2023, and they didn't get their money for operations from that time up to date. And the money was held by Honorable Minister Musenero, Monica Musenero, Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation. So that money was held for 15 months. It has not been, even when the year came to, when the financial year came to an end, still the money didn't go back to consolidated funds. We have intervened, Attorney General intervened, Presidential Affairs Committee intervened, Auditor General's office intervened, and still nothing has been done.
Minister turning this whole wonderful, potentially important project into something personal, and thereby, of course, killing all hopes that we have to make this industry a great source of revenue for our country, a great source of employment for our locals. It's tragic. It's really sad that this should be happening, but it's part of the general behavior of some of our leaders who are absolutely unsuitable for leadership, that they can become an obstacle that denies the country the ability to change, to prosper.
And our target is to promote scientists, whatever it takes. It needs support, and government should come in and give them money that is needed. Look at the workers. Look at the farmers. Even the local leadership is crying. They've used their farms. They've not been paid. So the whole community is not even trusting the whole project. So I really request that the Ministry of Science and Technology and Honorable Musenero, this is her baby. It's a baby in her ministry. She should come in to support this innovation and the innovator himself.
Well, you've heard that is the Committee on Presidential Affairs visiting the silkworm factory, rather project that is located in Mukono district. We all know that the president focus this time around is on science, technology, and more innovations. But that the silk project, as you've all seen, it is in a dire state. It is only producing a few silk. Yet right now, every financial year, there is money that is allocated for this to this company to carry out its work, so that it becomes a strong project that is producing silk for Uganda, for the whole country. But you've heard from the legislators complaining about the Minister for Science and Technology, that is Honorable Musenero, has halted funds to this project, which is quite absurd.
Indeed, and I think it's ironic that this is all happening during the Science Week, the National Science Week, where even the President has made headlines with a statement saying that he has okayed a new budget for science and innovation close to 500 billion shillings. And also even the Ministry of Finance said that the science and innovation also needs its special budget to spur the development and innovations and technology that science can bring. But then if the projects like these that are promised, because I believe before a project is started, there needs to be a pilot study that is done to be seen that it is feasible and it is going to be very helpful and developmental in a country. So if finances are being halted, like the story is saying, deliberately, then what should that mean, especially if they are crying out for not taxing innovation like they say, so that they can develop the sector? I mean, it's ironic.
According to the legislators, the minister is having issues. She's the head of the ministry.
Yes.
But she's having issues with the people who are in that project. So just imagine you're the minister. Of course, if you're having issues with them, you're the one responsible for the finances that go to them, because the money comes direct to your ministry. You have to send it to several of the projects that within the ministry, and then you're like, I'm having issues with that, let me hold the funds. Yet Parliament allocates money for this specific project. Now, I don't know, what is the money going to do?
What was the efforts to get to the minister herself? Did you get means of getting to the minister?
The committee has invited her, definitely. She has to appear before the committee. Okay. Because if the committee has gone to the scene and seen what is happening, they have talked to the people managing this project. Like the minister is having issues with us. She has halted the funds. Funds are not reaching us here.
Maybe she could be having a comprehensive reason as to why she has stopped money from the capital flow to the company.
Perhaps
maybe. So probably there is a need maybe to have a face-to-face talk with the committee. She might be having a concrete point.
She definitely has to appear before the committee and then explain why the funds are not reaching several of the projects.
Because the president has said no more taxing innovations. There is a special budget in the pipeline for science and innovation and technology, because we already know digitization cannot move without money and everything. So for that to make sense, I think we need to hear from the minister as well.
Yeah,
because
we shall be following up the committee and see when the minister appears before the committee, so that we also get her side. Because definitely this is one of the kind. It is the first project for the country, and if it is stalling like that, then it is quite
sad. Yeah. But of course, in line with that, let's now look at Uganda's vaccine independence. That's it. If there is even any independence in regards to vaccine, but the vulnerabilities exposed by Africa's reliance on imported vaccines during the COVID-19 pandemic spurred a high-level dialogue led by CETIN Uganda and its key partners. Of course, key focal points included dismantling trade barriers, navigating intellectual property rights, fostering technology transfer, fortifying regulatory frameworks, and cultivating public-private partnerships, as well as mobilizing resources and promoting regional collaboration. These discussions aim to advance local vaccine manufacturing and address the challenges in the continent. We have a story, and I want us to look at it, and then we come back and give you more. While global vaccine demand is rising, Africa currently imports 99% of its vaccines. In 2021, member states of the African Union launched the African Vaccine Manufacturing Industry Partnership to self-produce 60% of the needed doses by 2040. A study by CETIN Uganda highlights the crucial role of trade, investment, and intellectual property policies in achieving Africa's goal of producing 1.5 billion vaccine doses annually by 2040.
The COVID pandemic was an eye-opener. Because we didn't have our own vaccines, we had to depend from outside the country, from developed countries. And you remember the developed countries even had boosters, second boosters, before we got our own, before they gave us the vaccines. So that was an eye-opener that as Africa, we need to manufacture our own medicines, our own vaccine. Today, the entire continent, we import 99% of our vaccines. They come from outside. But there have been efforts on the ground to address that issue. The African Union put in place a vision, a very, very, very bold vision that by 2040 we'll be manufacturing 60% of our vaccines. So we need to start the journey now. As you know, Uganda, we have also been trying to manufacture our vaccine, but there are challenges because you can't manufacture vaccines in the vacuum. The policies, trade policies, investment policies.
We can do technology transfer and do local production of active ingredients of vaccine manufacturing, or we can do production of fill and finish formulations in vaccine manufacturing, which are the easiest to start with. However, when we do this, we also have to look at what are the markets are we going to target. And one of the questions or one of the pertinent issues required of a company which is manufacturing vaccines is to analyze the level of its regulatory authority.
The deputy chairperson of the Health Committee emphasizes a market worth over $1 billion. To tap into this opportunity, Uganda needs to revise its trade laws, ensuring market fragmentation to facilitate local vaccine manufacturing.
Materials or equipment or materials so that they can set up at a cost that is really affordable. We also need to go into the trade laws. Right now there is need for defragmentation of markets. When you look at the Ugandan market, and then the East African market and the African market, if you're manufacturing vaccines, you need to look at the African market. Unfortunately, you require to register that drug or get approvals for that vaccine in 55 African countries. If it takes you 1 year to get one approval, then it means that's 55 years. So there's need for an amendment of the trade laws, not just at national level, but at regional and African level, so as to defragment the markets and merge the markets and make it more viable itself. We also need to see.
The World Health Organization mandates a regulatory body as a sponsor for vaccine manufacturing, aligning closely with Uganda's recognized maturity level by the World Health Organization. Our findings indicate the importance of collaboration with the National Drug Authority in this regard.
Moving to attain level 3 maturity so that all our products, especially vaccines, are exported even to the first world. And National Drug Authority is here to take on Bubu, embraces Bubu, and ask everyone to take on Bubu. And by doing that, exactly what we are doing is supporting local manufacture. We support local manufacture.
I will not say that the National Drug Authority has capacity, because I'm not yet so sure. It would be a question they would answer if at all actually they are part of the boards of these organizations, because they could be members without voting rights than other people who develop the visionary structure of running these organizations. That is why, for me, on the part of manufacturers, I'd pushed with our corporation as Uganda Pharmaceutical Manufacturers to have a seat on the board of National Drug Authority, at least in the creation of its vision, to be able to put input that is relating to the ways or the standards of where we are, and we grow together, because it does not help for a regulatory body to grow when the stakeholders it serves are down at a given level. It does not really help. So for national.
It is on that note that, of course, that I bring the conversation back here in studio, but pretty much we have a set objective by Africa Union that by 2040 we should be manufacturing 60% of our vaccines. The question on whether that is realizable or not, that is a question of time. But of course we also need to understand the reasons why we have not gotten there. Just like the MP said, we have to revamp legislation and check our trade laws. We have to look at the intellectual property rights. We have to look at regional cooperation, governance, look for funding, capacity building, and all the other things to just combine. Because with vaccine manufacturing, we saw what COVID-19 showed to us. I mean, we are relying on the Western powers to just get vaccines. They will just give us a dose. Perhaps the next month they tell us they would give, and then they will not even give.
I also
that
want
kind
to know
of reliance.
where Covidex is at the moment. Where is it standing? Is it on market? And what was the problem with it?
Well, Covidex, now that is a local, drug.
Yes.
And for us to understand that is now local manufacturing, but now we're talking about vaccines. Now, the question of Covidex, was it certified by World Health Organization? Because there are two things: to manufacture a vaccine and then earn from it. We are looking at market fragmentations, just like the deputy chairperson of the health committee said. There needs to be market fragmentations. For you to have a drug, it has to be certified in all the states of the African Union, 55 of those, and you know what that means: money, time. So you need all those connections. So Covidex, let me ask you, do you think Covidex Kenya would take up Covidex, or if you want to manufacture it for Uganda? Of course, vaccines, the people are manufacturing. Herbalists are making drugs that actually cure. But the problem of us benefiting from it and being like on the level of other countries that are certified by the World Health Organization, where vaccines
so the problem
actually
could be
work.
certification. Getting to the level of certifying our vaccines, that's the only hindrance there.
Yes, and they have just told you the steps we need to start with: ratifying the markets, review of the trade laws. Most importantly, we already know what the problem we have with our policies and implementation. And of course, just like the World National Drug Authority was put on spot on what maturity level we have reached at, we have not even attained maturity level 3 that is recognized by World Health Organization to actually manufacture drugs for market.
So we still have a long way to go.
Yes, so there's even
because
market.
we haven't reached it. But by the time we reach at even exporting to the outside world, like I've seen some of the experts analyzing there. So reaching to that level, we still need to
even have the first manufacture for our. How is the scope of manufacturing for domestic, for instance, before we even look outside?
That's also another point that we should look at.
But of course, the vision of African Union is realizable, just like they said, because what is known and what is evident is that there is a big market to utilize billions. Like they said, billions of dollars of vaccine. People that made the jobs they were giving us. Imagine how much they made when they were distributing it them all over the world.
To me, I'm just praying we also reach at that level,
as Africa,
that technology as Africa as a whole. Remember during COVID-19, those guys, even those foreign guys, they even sent us here fake vaccines, if you can remember very well, for COVID-19. They tested on us.
Yeah.
You can imagine. So I think it's our prayer that we also get to that level and get that expertise, that technology where we can also make our own vaccines. Otherwise, these guys is how we play as well.
I'm going to talk about Uganda alone. I think these countries, these organizations don't just trust these small countries, because we have brilliant chaps actually.
Yes.
I interfaced with some of the people from Uganda Viral Research Center. They're the one that's actually those scientists. And they said, the CEO actually, he said, we have brilliant Ugandans, we have everything, we only lack funding. And then now if you say that our vaccine, the state we are, I was told we are 75 something, we are remaining with only a few steps. Now like that, recognizing and getting a what certificate, if that is the one that is hindering us to start making our own vaccines, let us first start with us here domestically. We start on ourselves. We start testing our vaccines here before they start being approved. Just like Covidex came and people were like, "Why it won't work?" But it worked on some Ugandans, on not some, actually many Ugandans. Me, I tried that herbal. They just don't trust us. You see, these big countries like Iran and Russia. Of course, most of the West don't trust them, but they made their own vaccines. They vaccinated their own people first before their vaccines were approved by the World Health Organization. I think we should be patriotic. Just like now here, I support the president. The president is always patriotic on these matters. These things, when they go outside there, we are delayed in the process, because those countries want us to keep depending on them for vaccines, for everything. Now, if they
are making money.
Exactly, they make money in the process. Even when they bring those donations have strings attached to them. Of course, they bring money you have to pay later,
Yes.
or at what stage. We start doing our own things. We start testing them on our own populations, just like these big nations like China, India, and others, before they even start being approved by World Health Organization. We start with on ourselves, and we wait for those people to approve. But when we are protecting ourselves
from ourselves,
yes, we used Covidex, and we knew it is a Ugandan who made this thing.
That's of course, technology transfer and public-private partnerships, capacity building, and mobilizing of resources. All these will be focal in regards to realizing that we have our own vaccine and we can manufacture our own vaccines, because we never know when the next COVID could come, and then you're at the mercy of some other country that is holding some other thing as a bargaining chip, you know. So of course, I know we still have more in trending today, and I think Peterson has a story.
Yeah, today in regard to energy transition, like Uganda has set an ambitious agenda to develop into substantial energy and mineral resources, promote economic development and end energy poverty, and lead the country to just energy transition. So there was an in-depth review of Uganda's energy and climate policies that is the first of its kind in the sub-Saharan Africa that has been prepared for only Uganda. I mean energy policy review that were looked at today, what we call the in-depth review of that very department. Let's have a look at this very story, then we come back to studios and give more breakdown of the story. Today, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, together with the International Energy Agency, took an in-depth review of Uganda's energy and climate policies. This is the first of its kind for Uganda in the sub-Saharan Africa, and it will find strong foundations for ambitious energy and climate agenda. According to a new in-depth review by International Energy Agency, Uganda's efforts to achieve its ambitious energy and climate goals are bolstered by the country's clean electricity sector, substantial natural resources, and commitment to expanding energy access.
As we launched this review report, it specifies how we are going to access the people, how we are going to do that is you develop the transition. We are lucky we have been working very hard in the generation side.
In-depth review is a situation analysis, a status, the starting point in the planning process, which gives the groundwork, the level of the current situation as is, and has been projected by our current policies. You know, we just recently launched the energy policy, so this is part of the actualization of that policy.
This report assesses the energy sector and the related challenges facing Uganda and serves as a situational analysis that feeds into the department of the country's energy transition plan to provide policy recommendations and support the development of energy sector and the path towards universal access for all.
These discussions were instrumental in shaping the report that we are launching here today, which provides detailed insights into the Ugandan energy sector, highlighting the remarkable progress that Uganda has achieved in recent decades, while also suggesting recommendations for ways in which Uganda can further enhance its energy sector. And I trust and hope that our recommendations are very much taken in that spirit.
The report published today provides a comprehensive overview of Uganda's energy sector. It was launched at an event in Kampala with the International Energy Agency Deputy Executive Director Mary Bruce Wallach, Uganda's Minister of State for Energy Okasai Oplot, and the Norway's Ambassador to Uganda, Anne Christine Hermansen. Yeah, so these are some of the steps that government is taking to harness the energy transition in the country. Remember, we just launched the energy policy for Uganda 2023, and this is going to serve as a crucial tool and a major contribution to the country's ambitious agenda. So these are some of the things. And now, after having the energy policy, now we are going to energy policy review. All these are the steps that were being taken. Then after that, we shall have, the government is also organizing, actually, Minister of Energy and Development is also organizing an annual energy conference that is going to take place in Kampala here. That is going to take
a renewable energy conference.
That is another one. These are the plans now. We are going to start the other one that's going to happen at Kamois. Then after, we are going to renewable conference, you get, and you are all invited. I am the one who is coordinating media. So all those means we are running towards harnessing. By the way, all journalists, we're going for a training on how to report about renewable energies and electricity access in the country, and that is going to happen in Tanzania. So all of us, you have to be part of the group. It is about harnessing electricity in the country. Okay. Have I hyped the thing very much?
What about energy? Let's talk about the story. What about energy policy review? What are they reviewing?
The energy policy, they're reviewing. You see, there are a lot of things that are being looked at. You know, the energy transition plan has barriers, very many of them. We have what we call infrastructure problem. We have what they call a financial problem. We don't have money. And remember, Norway is one of the countries that have been supporting us so much, and they're closing their what?
They close their embassies.
They're closing their embassies, and actually they are going, you get. So there are a lot of problems. So all this that they're reviewing today, they want to find a better way of harnessing this road to transition and a clean energy transition. That's why we had all stakeholders. That's why our International Energy Agency was there. The ministry was also there. Even the Norway ambassador was also there. Yeah. And by the way, he promised us of continuous working together, much as they are going, but they'll be still helping the energy sector in the country.
I remember last year I attended a conference in Munyonyo from the International Energy Agency, the same of the kind, and they were talking about, they also were launching a report, and they were talking about how Uganda is, the kind of energies it is using and how it should shift. And of course, we're talking about the energy shift and transition and integration. And then, of course, they were giving advice on how we can reduce on the use of biomass, cutting down on trees, especially in rural areas where the mindset change has completely failed, that Ugandans continue to cut down trees so that they can use for food, for firewood.
Yes.
So then the electricity scale-up project, of course, we already know what Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development is doing with World Bank. They got quite a chunk before World Bank financed us for the electricity scale-up project. And of course, moving together with other energy sources, including nuclear energy, LGBT, and then of course all this happening at other forms of energies. And of course we're talking about even electric mobility in this whole aspect. True. So perhaps the energy policy review that was launched today by the International Energy Agency could also, like how other reports, because World Bank, IMF usually write to us and reports on researches on how best we can transition and make sure that, because many more Ugandans, in as much as we have a variety of all these energy sources, many more Ugandans do not have access to clean energy.
True, that's true.
So I hope that this report actually tackles the people that need it most.
And it's going to tackle them. By the way, this is the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. It's only Uganda that has come up with this energy policy review at the moment. So we hope that it's going to help us in that road to the transition. And if you can look at here, according to the new in-depth review of the International Energy Agency, Uganda's efforts to achieve its ambitious energy and climate goals are bolstered by the country's clean electricity sector, substantial natural resources, and commitment to expanding energy access. And remember, 97% of the households are using firewood and charcoal. So we're also looking forward to see how can we start awareness program, going to the ground and then teach these people. That's the ministry now, teaching people and see how they can come back to renewable energy equipments, buying renewable equipments, and they change from electricity to Biomass or something else?
No, not biomass. Now we're fighting biomass.
Why? It's supposed to be there also.
No.
I was told biomass is even better than electricity.
No, it's not. That is a conversation you cannot even have. People are fighting biomass. Do you know emissions biomass is bringing? Chaco, you're advocating on live TV, advocating for people to use biomass. That is charcoal, cutting down firewood, and of course the ministry, just like you mentioned, has several.
Biomass they use cow dung and the like.
No, that is biodigesters now, not biomass. Biomass is charcoal, firewood.
It's fire.
But of course now we're gonna take a short break, and then we'll come back with
Before
company news, and then we shall wrap this up.
Smart 24, driving business.
We have the best services here at Hotel Mara.
You are very rude, Mr. Chief. I want her to have longer nails like those ones.
Like mine.
So
Yes,
that
you're
she
right.
can tickle me in the back.
You're serious? I don't have that kind of money.
Then you are going to wash the dishes.
Me?
Waitress, how will you come on?
But my mouth doesn't smell.
Hey. It doesn't.
Steve, you're like my dad.
Shia, is your father as handsome as me?
Era tutukanga olw'omuntu nti nigasita ndala mukaaga itaano sita isatu ash onige yes
nga bakubuuza amachanti
nga bamubuuza amachanti code nga tumukoba atamu nsanvu olumalirizawo ng'atamu esente dali kuwayo kumbaga ya mwenemu saawa yeneyo nga kyabazinga amwebaza nga tweyongereyo kayi tujja mu kyalo ekindi
ekikoba embaga olunawa luti nga mwira
tulijja kumala kayi tweyongere emyezi mukaaga nga tukasomesa abantu momope
baba embaga ya mwene mweriyo nga 18 kaye emyezi omukaaga gyoli kwongeramu
ojajina ebya momope abantu gyembiti eyo yona bandeeta momo ono bibali kumpaka nebya momope abiri tyama ku pikipiki ojo obisomesa
muleke musoniwe tyamaja
baba tuuka bulungi
simbula embalasi asumuludde
momo nyabo.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy, exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full-course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasan Hotel. So visit today at plot 15-19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasan Hotels, luxury redefined.
Smart 24, driving business.
You're still watching Business Today, and of course, if you just joined us, you missed quite a lot, but of course, still in for the best, business gist. And of course, moving on with Business Today and looking at the side of company news, MasterCard's Foundation Young Africa Works initiative that partnered with PSFU allocated $41 million for 36 lead firms aiming to create over 300,000 jobs in Uganda. Notable success is with Newman's Foods with an investment of 1.7 billion shillings, providing notable 5,200 jobs. And of course, challenges still persist as PSFU also mentioned issues with governance, mindset issues, hindering lead firms' success under the project. Let's have the story and then we bring it back. In 2019, the MasterCard Foundation introduced the Young Africa Work strategy, aiming to generate employment for 3 million youths across Africa. Teaming up with PSFU, $41 million was allocated for 36 lead farm structures, targeting to create 300,000 jobs in Uganda. Noteworthy among them is Newman's Foods, where 1.7 billion shillings was invested in business development services, resulting in 5,200 jobs, spanning from farmers to outgrowers, with 200 directly employed at their Nakauka factory in Mwakiso district. The overarching goal of this initiative remains job creation.
PSFU, supported by MasterCard Foundation. The total project value is $41 million, and we are working with 36 companies in Uganda, including Macdo, now Newman's. We work with Mukwano as well, the likes of Mukwano. We work with KDS. There are 36 of them, and the model is literally the same. We come in, we support you with business development services, but critically, we support you to increase the number of young people who you work with to support you get your inputs, because our one interest is actually the job that is created. So under this entire program, actually, so far we've created 109,000 jobs through these 36 companies, and we've been doing that for the last 3 years. We still have 2 more years to go, and by the end of the program, we expect to have created 300,000 jobs. So that's the plan. But of all these 36, they are the likes of Newman's, where we come in, find you where you are, and then help you we just catalyze you.
5,185 are all in work, are earning, including the 200 that are directly employed here. As with 2 other firms, you're going to see them. We found him with around only 70 workers, but he has managed to employ around 200 young people, and most of them are females. And through our support, we've managed to open different markets, regional and international markets. Regional, South Sudan, Congo, he's exporting the regional markets, even domestic markets, through our market activations, the BPS that we provide. He has managed to grow his market share. We found him at 30% domestically, now he's at 35%, and still growing. Again, through our support, we made him, he attracted other investors coming to his company. He has already told you, because of PSFU, because we are the first partners to work with him. So imagine how we organize the whole systems around, and he's a very compliant.
Newman's Foods, established in 2017 in a rented space, has flourished with PSFU's support, now generating 5,000 direct jobs and indirect jobs, as highlighted by the commercial director.
See, we moved to now the snacks that have made Newman's popular as a brand. We did cassava crisps, we did potato, gonja, name it, as a brand for Newman's. That's when PSFU found us, and we are very excited because at first we didn't know, we didn't know if we could get the support support we needed, just like any other investment, any other growing brand. And then they came to us and spoke to us, and the rest was history. They've been supporting us with pretty much everything. We moved from that and shifted to our facility where we are here at Nakauka. I think it's not even triple, it's not even quadruple. We have expanded tremendously.
Damali Sali underscores that despite the progress and tested successes in the project, certain lead farms face challenges due to governance mindset issues, where some fail to register successes as they struggle to structure their businesses according to the provided advice, hindering their growth.
As with everything, you can't have 100%. So a lot of the challenges we found is governance challenges. So some companies have they have an owner who may not be flexible enough to take the recommendations that we're giving. For example, when we say that you need to have a finance director who has the powers to actually do finance directing, not you, the owner, becoming also the accountant, becoming the procurement, director, everything. So that's, in fact, the first piece of advice when we come in. We give you that there has to be a finance director, there has to be someone in charge of procurements, someone in charge of HR. Not only your cousins and friends and family should be employees. There has to be a system. So one of the critical, in fact, the first things that we do in terms of business development is to come in and advise you on how to structure your company. And if you can't structure your company, then it will stay small, and we actually can't work with you because then it's a one-man show. It's a corner shop.
I love the fact that those guys are going to create more than 300,000 jobs. This is my take home.
Yeah.
I really take this serious. That's what I can pick from this story.
Yeah.
PSF is doing good work.
In partnership with MasterCard Foundation, of course, that's a project that is amounting to $41 million
Yeah.
wholly in Uganda for the 36 lead farms. Not just that Newman, but other, including Mukwano, others that are under them. For them, their focus is one: job creation.
True.
Employ Ugandans. And of course, these people, as you have seen, they have employed directly 200 youths, most of which are females, like you saw, and then 5,000 outgrowers, and then 5,000 outgrowers, including farmers, and of course outgrowers within that same space. So we also need to know that in as much as they give them these business development services, there are challenges of governance, especially for companies that would always want to employ their relatives and don't want to have a structure that is informed and advised. You find your HRI is your cousin, you find the business developer or the head of finance is your wife, and
son.
so there is no structure. So there is you do not separate work and family. So,
but I think that's what also PSF should embark on, teaching these people how to run some of the companies when it comes to the hierarchy. You get, like you've just said, you find my wife is the chief executive officer, her son is the one.
And
so also
businesses do not thrive with family members.
So much as PSF is doing a good work when it comes to supporting these people with some other skills, but should also look at that very aspect.
And then also another take-home advice that was given to some of these lead firms is that they shouldn't be afraid to sell some part of their capital to remain afloat, because most companies collapse because they do not want to share. Just like you see Newman attracted an investor, where an investor that has equity in their company, and their company is financially stable. So even if you're struggling as an SME and some investor, you have attracted an investor, please be willing to sell some part of your capital to remain financially stable and grow, because you can grow organically, but then you can still grow faster with this, as a catalyst.
True.
Yeah, but of course that was pretty much it. MasterCard, PSFU, and of course Newman. Of course we know Newman and the rest. But moving on with company news, and as we head towards the end of business today, and we're now looking at insurance. Of course, what is business without insurance? That is one of the sectors that has profoundly tried to remain in the space.
And its penetration is still lacking in the country.
Yeah, and of course, just like you have just said, Pedson, Uganda's insurance landscape is experiencing profound need to makeover thanks to the ongoing advancements in technology. The Insurance Regulatory Authority, through its pioneering Insurance Regulatory Sandbox program, reports noteworthy success in elevating insurance adoption and addressing clients' needs, signaling a transformative era in the sector's digital evolution. Let's have it. At the inaugural graduation of the Insurance Regulatory Authority Sandbox Insurance Program, Florence Mviri, IRA's Director of Finance, emphasized the pivotal role of digital technology in shaping the insurance sector. Mviri underscores that given the relentless pace of technological advancement, the insurance sector cannot afford to be left behind.
What we are in is moving very fast, especially digitally. So if we remain behind as an industry, we stand to lose out. But also the client expectations are very high. So technology is supposed to enhance. So this program has built the ground on which we can innovate and be able to address such challenges. Then also the program is aimed at promoting the use of technology, data, and analytics to enhance the service delivery by improving efficiency, also accessibility.
While Uganda's insurance sector demonstrates robust growth evident in the rise of gross written premiums from 240 billion in 2010 to 1.2 trillion shillings in 2021, industry stakeholders are advised to embrace technology for enhanced market penetration.
The thing with innovation is it's a solution to a problem. Our cause as insurance is to actually solve the problems of society. We act as a risk management mechanism. If you have any challenge, you can come and have the insurance company cover you. And so our innovators are just now using technology to enhance that capacity of the insurance sector.
Ultimately, technology and innovation are enablers. Growth is the objective ultimately for us and for you as an industry. Is that if we continue to work together, we will transform not just the insurance industry, but finance, energy, technology, media and telecommunications, oil and gas, all the different sectors in this country that contribute to the dreams and hopes of the average Ugandan.
6 insurers recently graduated from the Innovation Village, having successfully developed innovative insurance technologies. The InsureX program, integral to IRA's digitization agenda, unites InsureTech innovators to leverage shared digital infrastructure for accelerated solution development, fostering a technology-aware insurance workforce, creating market access insurance solutions, and promoting collaboration within a connected insurance ecosystem with a goal of doubling penetration by 2025.
Yeah.
So that's the goal of doubling penetration by 2025. Currently, the penetration of Uganda's insurance sector as compared to Kenya. Kenya is on 3%, but we're not even on 1%, we're on 0.01%.
Kenya is on lead.
Yes, so all these you see are strides to double penetration by 2025. And I think every time someone says 2025, I think of oil and gas. And of course, insurance is also a catalyst of many other aspects. There is insurance in oil and gas, there is insurance in health, there is insurance in transport, there is insurance in everything. It's a driver, just like you see fuel. So the only problem is that Ugandans are still skeptical, but the moves are there.
But I think insurance is very important. All of that, what you've just said, that the people's, they don't understand what it means by insurance sometimes. You see, when you say go and insure your product, what they think is taking money away from them, but they don't think of what may happen in case of an accident.
But do they have the money? You're saying that
there is also health insurance. Even those who have the money don't want to go for health insurance or any other insurance. You get. We need to have insurance covers for our health. You get. Anytime you may get in problems.
Yes.
We always move on border. We always cruise cars. So insure your health. You get. Because anything can happen. If something happens and you don't have money there and then, automatically.
Which insurance? AAR.
I also admit you to go there. I don't want to make advert for them. I don't want to make advert for them, but
Person is a liar. I wouldn't believe.
Call me a comedian.
Person is a liar. I wouldn't believe. But insurance is paramount, and at least for me, I have realized, and I think next year I should also have insurance. I think it's a shame for a corporate to say they don't have insurance. But I think
I'm the only one with insurance.
But Ugandans also need to be educated on this insurance. Ugandans need to know, an ordinary Ugandan needs to know, how much do I put in insurance? Do I put every month? How much money do I put?
All that is a program that you can just arrange. You see, I think the most vital insurance that one can have at least is health insurance, because we know the health system here, and now that we speak of the health insurance, there was supposed to be the National Health Insurance Scheme that should have been passed, just like, and the reason why Kenya is actually ahead of us is because they actually
it was actually passed. But it was pending. But it is still pending. The president has not yet signed on it.
Yeah,
still studying.
Yeah, the word from IRS says that they are having talks between them, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Finance. They're in talks generally. When they say they're in talks, that means they're trying to agree on some things. But I think if they pass,
speed up their talks.
Yeah, definitely. I think if they pass, and it's actually a law that everyone has to pay 20,000. That 20,000 for health insurance.
That's per year or per month?
Per month, and I think it's affordable for certain people. Then that means that it's going to spur, definitely double it by 2025, like they say.
That is okay, that is all good, but am I going to benefit from this insurance? Do I go to the hospital and then they start, even the people who are insured, people who their companies do pay money, these hospitals. Someone presents their card that I'm insured, but then it takes them time to first verify. The bureaucracy is too much when it comes to insurance. It is the people in those hospitals, in those places, that make it hard for Ugandans to embrace these things. I've had friends who are insured. They have cards, and then they are like, no, I'm not going to use this.
And the problem,
it is only what these people respect. There are certain hospitals that do respect. Now, like for Parliament, if you're members of Parliament, there, if you have that card for Parliament, you go and get the care. You get the care from, but you're insured by a certain company. These are small companies. These people will
maybe to chip on that. There is also a big problem with some of the hospitals.
Yes.
You go there with your card, and because you don't have cash there and then, they don't attend to you there and then. They tend to attend to other people who have just come with money there and then. And that's also a very big problem.
You first be there as though you're not paying. You're like, what is wrong with me? I have come here and I've come early, and this parent, you just see people passing you, and then
just run away from here.
Of course, just like any other sector, they can't wait to be.
I don't think Ugandans do not want to be insured, but it is the people who are insured who are telling us these things, and then we're like, okay, let me first.
But everything has problems, has advantages and disadvantages. There are things that we can move on and with them and work on them in the long run.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, fraud, that's not a new thing in insurance.
Yeah.
People coming in, companies setting up, they be like they can provide micro insurance, and then just 5 years after that, they run away with people's money.
I know.
We have seen that because Uganda presents itself as a good investment climate for these people to come and invest in. And hopefully, with all these, just like this story says, moving together with technology to enhance and double insurance by 2025, perhaps by 2025 they will have realized the goal they have set. And I think, just like the sector players are saying it themselves, they should anticipate more and more from the sector.
But I think after implementing our national insurance scheme, then our insurance penetration will go a certain digit. Maybe that's what
everyone is hinging on. But we've now come to the end of business today. If you are watching us, please just tune in again on Monday and Wednesday, as well as Friday next week, just for this particular type just analyze these stories together. And we could always give us reviews, and give us those reviews on our social media platforms. You can stream also this stream on our Smart24 TV on YouTube, follow our social media platforms on Twitter and Facebook, so that we can engage with you and we interact with more in the world of business. Thank you so much for having joined us, and
it's a bye-bye for now. Business Leroy is the next program that is coming on set.
Yeah. It is actually not business now.
It's what?
It is GAFAM byobusubuzi. Now
GAFAM byobusubuzi is what is next on Smart24 TV. Bye.
A very good weekend.